So when, I turned, 14, 15, 16 on up, it was very important to me to solidify myself as somebody that nobody was going to fuck with. And as a woman, I already have that card against me because there's not a whole lot of women. A lot of women, especially attractive young women, just ended up getting pimped out, not taking seriously. The boys would go out and do a mission, and you'd be the one that had to stay home and stay back. And that was never something that I ever wanted to do. So, I had to work really hard and got pushed into certain things in order to solidify myself and get that respect, which, I did. And a big part of that was, how I dressed, how I talked, not wearing makeup, don't wear shorts, don't wear yoga pants. It's always jeans, sweatpants, cargos, Timberlands, knife in your pocket, leather jacket. Like
Ready to
these were
get
all
down.
things
Yeah.
that I had to do to put myself in that position, and it worked and it was cool, and I have a lot of great experiences. I never got pimped out. I got to work alongside bikers who, notoriously just don't really hire women to do jobs, don't have women around them unless you're like a biker's wife. And I was very honored to do that. And what it gave me was this perspective of kind of how jaded the rest of the world is, because they look at people like us and think that we're untrustworthy, that we're thieves, that we're this and we're that. But in reality, there is a sense of loyalty among kind of like the underdogs of this world that the rest of the world just doesn't have. And, Jason Vukovic, for example, when him and I talk, he'll be like, hey, love you, sister. And my fiance, when the first time he heard that, he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, what do you mean love you? What do you mean? And he was curious. He's like, what does this mean? Like, is he hitting on you? And I'm like, no, no, no. When you come from the streets, when you find people who have helped you, who have related to you, who genuinely care about you, that becomes your brother, that becomes your sister, because they show you loyalty that even sometimes your own family hasn't shown you. So there's this like great sense of loyalty and connection, and I will look out for you and you look out for me, that the rest of the world just doesn't have. So I feel like other people are just kind of missing out, and they're just so wrong on what kind of people we actually are. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how scary we look, we're probably the biggest fucking teddy bears.